This is the Springfield College Forum. We're glad that you have decided to come and spend some time with us. We are located right here in downtown Wilmington in the Nemours building on the 5th floor. We're Springfield College School of Human Services, and we're here today to talk with you about some wonderful projects, enterprises, people who have graduated from Springfield and gone on to really impact the community in which we all live. I'm here with Dr. Gwendolyn Sanders, our president of our advisory board for the campus. And Dr. Sanders, you know and I know how important it is for our students to be involved in the community. And we are just as proud as we can be because this past week we honored them at an alumni gathering. Would you like to tell us more about that?
Yes, the alumni committee, it's called the Impact Awards, and it's for alums who have graduated and are out doing wonderful things. And then we talk about what they're doing, and we want them to be recognized because I think Springfield College is just a jewel that's not well known. And what we want you to hear today is from some of the people who graduated and they've gone on to do some wonderful things. And what we would like for them to share with us today is, why Springfield? What did you select Springfield? And we'll start with you, and I want you to tell us about what you do, but start with why Springfield.
Okay, my name is Lenore Webb, and the reason why I went to Springfield truly is because it was a weekend college. I was able to go to work full time and not be so busy trying to get to school in the evenings. So that was the reason why I selected Springfield, because it was the weekends.
Okay, I'm going to come back and I want to hear your story as a consequence. Why Springfield for you?
I think it was partially the same reason, is that it was a weekend college, so I could accommodate going to school and still performing my job duties. And then it was local, and the cost was affordable.
Okay.
Well, my name is Bobby Cummings. I chose Springfield College for some of the same reasons. Again, it was a weekend program. It seemed like it was something that was accommodating to my work life. And when I got involved, I saw that it was very impactful for what I was doing. And it made a difference in what happened.
So, these are three purples who were awarded an Impact Award. And there were some other persons that were there who could not come today. But we want to hear your stories as well. Now, well, tell us about your story and what you do. You'll be coming on with that too. What you do and what you've done, and how has Springfield helped you to do that well?
Well, first I would like to thank you and Dr. Stang for honoring me for the Impact Community Award. It was such an honor. It felt so rewarding because building a nonprofit organization brick by brick, and you're actually doing the work, is like so hard. And when someone can step back and say, oh, I see you, I see what you're doing, I recognize you. So I want to thank you both for honoring me. And also what Springfield did, I wouldn't even be out here doing this if it wasn't for Springfield. When I came to Springfield College, I was thinking of, I knew the college were there for human services, and that's what I wanted to be in. And I always wanted to work with women. And it helped me build my confidence of who I was, to speak up, to advocate. I had all these dreams inside of me. And my daughter always said to me, if you have a dream without trying to reach a goal, it's just a wish. And I said, well, you know what, it's not a wish, it's actually a goal. So I went for it, and I went to Springfield, and it built up my confidence in who I was. And I was be able to each semester I could just feel myself just growing inside, and Dr. Willis actually said to me, she pointed me out in class and said, when Lenore first started, she was like, and now she's sitting up and she's smiling and she's laughing and she's meeting with people. So it helped me see something that was already inside of me, and you just pulled more out of me that was there.
So what is it that you do with women?
What I actually do, I work with women coming out of incarceration or women that have been previously incarcerated. And what we do, we help them with career workshops. We help them build their resumes and cover letters. It's three categories. We do the career workshop. We also do art therapy and financial literacy. and we do domestic violence awareness along with health and wellness. And we have to cover the whole body, as we learn at Springfield College. It's not just about getting a job, it's about being prepared for the work. It's about being prepared mentally with the art therapy, and the body, the health and wellness. Make sure that you are ready physically to go out and work. And we also provide them with business attires for they be able to have the clothing, the personal hygienes. So it's like everything, it's not everything you need, it's not a one-stop shop, but it's to prepare the women to go to work before the job. So I say to them that, I always say this flash, I have to write it down because I love it. The real you will remind you the person you're supposed to become if you look at the real you. And I tell them that, and they always say, Miss Webb, like, that meant so much. And I tell them that when they come to the door, do you know who you are? The real you, not who you're telling me you are. And we start right there, and then I work with them. And if they're willing to stick with me for 12 weeks, I guarantee them a job.
Oh, now that's a big step. That's a big step. So you really actualize mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
The kinds of things that you've done with it. Now, where are you located? Where's your program located?
We work outside of the Wilmington Library. Right now, we don't have a home office as yet, but all the classes are done at the Wilmington Library. We just added a recovery group because 75% of the women are in recovery, and a lot of the women have their different reasons why they might not go to a NAAA meeting. And I don't want to just surround it through NAAA. It's also recovery from grief, bad marriage, relationship. It's whatever you're recovering from, and we can talk in a circle, and the women can share. You know.
Okay. Tell us your story, Miss Vinnie. This is a very special person that I've known for a very long time, and I've seen her grow and become. And I'm very, very proud of her, just as I am with Lenora, with what she's doing. And she tells me that she keeps following me or I'm following her. Tell us your story.
My name is Bonita Lee, and I'm a Deputy Chief Magistrate of Newcastle County for the Justice of the Peace Courts. And when I came to Springfield, I'd already been working in the human service field for some time. But Springfield challenged what I thought I knew, and it prepared me to move into a quasi-supervisory position with the Justice of the Peace Court, where I would be supervising fellow judges. And it was a wealth of information that was shared by the professors that are working in the field, that are out there doing the human services. It's not just theory, so I really could appreciate that, and it did help me grow and develop. Now, as Deputy Chief Magistrate, I not only supervise other magistrates, but I still hear cases in the Justice of the Peace Court, so I'm always in court hearing landlord-tenant cases or debt cases or criminal cases, traffic violations and things of that nature.
So that is kind of like, it's the people's court. Is that what that means?
Yes. That's the best way to describe it, as a people's court. I guess we touch more lives of the Delawareans than any of the other courts in the state. From a simple traffic ticket for speeding or a red light camera ticket to somebody owes me money for rent and has not paid me, or my landlord's not treating me right. So it touches people's lives at a different level than the higher courts. So we see a lot of the people of Delaware coming through our court system.
So it's like the first court, and then you direct them to other courts? Is that what that is?
In some cases we have jurisdiction, so we can resolve the cases right within our court. But at other times, we do have to send them on to the Court of Common Pleas or Superior Court.
What about youth? Do you see a lot of youth coming to your court?
We see a lot of youth in our truancy court, where we have a truancy court, where we have dedicated judges that look at the issue of children not attending school or parents not sending their children to school. So we do see a lot of youth in that court, and we have a lot of partners within that court that help with the services aspects of dealing with the youth. And it takes a special kind of judge to operate in that court, and we've been fortunate to find those judges who have the passion for that.
And I think that that's a very critical, because I remember some of the judges who were very active in actually starting that and understanding what's happening to the youth and giving them that opportunity to do the right thing
Yes.
in a timely fashion, but also knowing what the right thing is and having the caring kind of sensitivity instead of putting the way and putting them in the right path. And that's what I think about the truancy program, and hoping that that kind of thing is going to continue. Now, speaking of the truancy and the right path, we have a learner who's graduating currently was in the bachelor's program, and she's finished that
Yes.
and thinking about something else.
Yes.
Okay. And then Benita came to us in the master's program.
Yes.
And then she finished that. And then we're moving on to a person that's leading up, and you'll see the relationships that in the whole aspect of human services you're hearing right here and right now. All right, sir, share with us your story. Why Springfield you told us about, but share with us your story.
Yes, I was in a point in my career where I was a supervisor, and I was in our human resources division. And one day I sat in my office and I was looking around the wall, and I saw that I had a lot of training certificates where I was a certified instructor for the police department. I was a defensive tactics instructor, physical fitness specialist. But on that wall there was something missing that I had not completed, and that was a degree. I had gone to different colleges for some time and had not completed. So I knew there was an opportunity at Springfield where I had met many individuals prior to coming, and I was kind of directed to go in that direction. So when I got there, it enhanced what I was already doing in my life in terms of being a police officer. When it talked about human services for a degree program, I didn't want to do something in terms of a criminal justice degree because I had already been in that field. So I saw human services as something different that I could do when I left the field of policing. Come to find out that what I was doing in policing was human services all along. So every component of what I was doing it involved human services. So I went on and completed my my undergraduate degree there, and got a little bit of coaching from my wife to continue further. But the people that I met at the college while attending had made a real impact in my life, because not only was I brought some experience from the policing side, but their personal experiences from my cohort was tremendous in helping me to understand what I was doing in my life as a police officer and why it needed to be done and how I could further reach out to people. And then also completing Springfield College helped me advance through some other promotions that came about that I really didn't anticipate, but it really set me up well, because Springfield College, the format had a lot of writing and public speaking in it, and that was a lot of the structure of it. Not realizing it would prepare me for what I'm doing now, and it just helped transcend a lot of the things that I was going through and really gave me a clear understanding of what I was doing in police work.
And what are you doing now, sir?
Well, I'm the chief of police for the city of Wilmington, and I've been, it'll be a year at the end of May. So it's been pretty good so far.
And not only that he said, you come to Springfield, but you bring something with you. You don't come as an empty vessel. You bring something with you that half the time you don't even realize, what you so much indicated that you have. And then people think, well, it's a week in college, and I'll just go through, I don't know, no. And that's what you see, these smiles on their face. It doesn't happen like that because it involves a lot of writing and researching, but one big piece of that are the projects that come as a consequence, and you have to do one, and how you change the community in which you live. And that's a thing that you can come back and look and see. You've made the changes. I know you've made the changes because you see them. And for you to recognize yourselves as this is what I can contribute, and to show you even further, we've had the good chief to come back and teach some classes.
Yes.
And we're missing him. He's been a little on the busy side, I would think, with the commission. And I'm sure that with the commissions and the kinds of things that you're working on, and the big issue now is this report that's come through and
Yes.
who's going, and I'm sure it helped your demeanor to be able to handle that in the quiet way. I call it the quiet storm way.
Yes.
That one has to do that in order to get your point across. And
Yes.
and I was very pleased to see that you're actualizing and you're listening, which is a big part of the education that you get, that you learn to listen, because you're going to be on center stage. You have to do your projects and you have to present.
Yes.
And I think I've watched the growth in the persons who then have to get, you mean I have to get it in front of those people and say these things? Of course you do. That's what's going to be the community that you're going to change. And that's why you are so important. And that's why we came up with the Impact Awards, because we want you to recognize and we want others to recognize. And I know that you don't see big ads about Springfield College, and we're going to be looking at some of the things like that, but you are our ads. You are our advertising. And if you're not doing a good job at what you're doing, you're going to see somebody's face. Because
Yes, we know.
Yes.
I will,
Yes.
I will come and say, excuse me, and say, now what is it that you think you should be doing, and whose lives are you touching? And please encourage people to go on to become the best that they can be. Because when we had this event on Thursday, and I looked around that room, I became very emotional, because I'm looking at the people, and you've seen the change, the pride. I have this, and I am, and whatever. And some of them get to be a little arrogant, in their pridefulness. But when you're prideful, you need to have something to be proud of.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
think that's kind of the thing that we're looking at. What do you think about these wonderful people? You have a special story for each of them.
I was, I'll start with Benita. I had her as a student, so I taught before I became the assistant dean campus director. And she was always so quiet. And I taught projects and issues and research. And when she got into those projects at the grad level now, and she was looking at, because they had to do projects in the classroom, and then she had to write a paper, the depth, as you could watch her grow. And every once in a while I'll call her judge, because when she started out, I never heard her say anything about doing this. I only knew that she had a heart and a calling to work in that community. And she'll say to me, please just call me Bonita. But the impact that she has had, because in that room on Thursday night, people knew who she was. It wasn't, and some of those people were graduating like in the year Lenore did here, in 2013, but they knew who you were. And I thought to myself, I wonder if any of them, I didn't ask, sat in your courtroom, because nobody, differentiated. Like when Chief Cummings walks in a room, or as we call him at Springfield, Bobby walks in a room,
Yes.
you'll see people say, oh, good. And I'll say, do you know him? Oh, he knows me. But that was back then, that's not now. And I think that's the importance. But the thing, and I had the chief as a student, and he too, wanted it today. He had a goal and he had a mission, but what he brought to that classroom, and even with the students when he taught, they would sit there, and sometimes they come because they're wanting to be in law enforcement, and he would take the time and the energy. He developed a relationship with former Commissioner of Police in Philadelphia, Sylvester Johnson, and they would teach a class together. And the reality that they would bring the people into, and the ability for them to get the student to recognize who they were and what they had, was wonderful. And I don't know, I keep thinking about the name of your organization. Can you tell
In
me?
her shoes.
In Her Shoes. And I remember when she first started that, and she was by herself. So how many years ago was that?
It's been 2 years.
2 years, all by herself out there. And the next thing I knew, she connected with another alumni, Tanya Bracey, who's an artist, and she does art therapy. And now they have connected. and they're bringing real depth to women who are coming out of incarceration into a world that allows them to grow. So those are the stories I have about the three of them, and I'm very proud of them as alum. And I would hope that those of you who are out there listening and being a part of this forum would hear what they've had to say and heard about their stories and recognize that you have a story too. Don't let the story hold you back where you are today. Call us. When you get the chance, the first 5 callers in the undergrad who want to come to the undergraduate program, which is a Bachelor of Science in Human Services. We have 2 concentrations, one in early childhood and the other in criminal justice. The first 5 to call, even if you leave your name and phone number. If you fill out that application, you come into the program, your application fee will be paid. We have 3 of those same types of scholarships for graduate students. We offer a Master of Science in Human Services with a concentration in mental health counseling. The first 3 people to call, your application fee will be waived. Remember to leave your name and your phone number, the phone number where we can reach you. And don't do it real fast, because the person has to write that phone number down and your name. And you know your name and you know the phone number, but we don't. But we would look forward to have anyone to come in and visit our campus. We're beginning classes next Saturday, and Sunday is the first weekend of the May term. Think about it. Think about where you are today. Think about where you want to be tomorrow. You know, tomorrow comes quickly, and you can be sitting in that same chair where you are today, participating in this forum, and not moved forward. We want you to move forward.
In addition to that, the person who's not here is Deborah Thomas, who is the head of the Wilmington Head Start program, and she was an Impact Award. She was one of the first students at Springfield, and so we're very proud of her. The other person who received an award was Ramona Fullman, and she's not able to be here, but this is her, your mentor, I think you told me, and also, you know, that she has, so she couldn't be because she's planning a big conference on housing. Ramona Fullman is executive director of the State Human Relations Commission and the Commission on Women, and is an instructor professor at Springfield College, and has touched the lives of the persons that you see. Our next show is going to be with students and projects. You're going to see the projects that they're doing and the agencies in which they're working. So we look forward to the 4th Sunday of each month. It's Springfield Forum, and you will hear about students and their projects. We want to give them the opportunity, just as we've given those, to show you the impact that they make currently in the community.
So on behalf of Dr. Judy Stang and Dr. Gwendolyn Sanders, we thank you for joining the Springfield College Forum, and our guests, we thank you. And we look forward to seeing you next month right here, 4th Sunday, 3:30, and we're glad you were with us.